Welcome to the Uberkate studio. It's a couple of days before Mother's Day, and I'm in a dilemma. I need to make something for Uberkate, but she's a designer. I mean, what am I going to make that she can't make herself? I mean, in the past, I've created cheeky little things like this Rubik's Cube with special messages on there from each member of the family. You can see that was engraved, and that took quite a bit of time. I can tell you, a couple of Mother's Days ago, I did this Expressions bangle in 9 carat gold, and if you can just see there, I engraved special messages from my son and my daughter from Mother's Day cards through the years. So that's a special little thing we can do onto any of our pieces. But of course, that's been done now. So what am I going to do for Mother's Day? Oh, in a few days' time. I'd love to test a few ideas out, and I'll put a poll up. And I'd love some feedback from you if I could, to see which you think would be best for Uberkate this Mother's Day. All right, let me show you what I'm thinking. I've got a couple of pieces here that are sort of, one's a scrap piece and one's an existing piece from the Uberkate range, which is the ID cuff. This is the large. It's also the Medi alert cuff. We put the Medi alert symbol there. I want to make a ring for her. So this one will, will go around there. I'll have to remove these, and so it'll be tapered, this part. Or this one won't be tapered, but both will be nice and wide. She likes a wide ring. So let's have a play and see what we can do. So you can either saw these with a little hacksaw, special jeweler's saw, but I'll just use some pliers. So I'll grab that in there. Bye bye. I'll save that silver. This is solid sterling silver. Okay, so that's like a base section now that we've got to work with. Now this one, it's got a few things I need to clean up. I mean, you can see, you can see there that it's got a bit of metal on there. On the other side, it's got a little bit of old engraving, which I'll have to remove. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's try and bend these using some old-fashioned brute force and start turning them into a ring here. Get the jeweler's mallet out and we'll just... Yeah, it's a bit hard. That's okay. What we need to do is anneal it. So we'll put some flames on there. We'll heat it up. Alright, now this should only take a few seconds, and we'll get it almost white hot, and that should really make it a lot easier. In fact, let's do the other one as well. We'll do both. We'll make it a lot easier to bend into a ring. I don't know if you can see, but that one's now starting to sort of glisten when you roll the flame over it, and that's what you want. Now these are all techniques which Kate has taught me, by the way, so I've become the second jeweler in the business. Crazy. Alright, that'll do. Now normally I'd wait for that to cool down, but we've got a video to make. So in the interest of speed, I'll just cool that off in some water. You do not want to touch that after the heating process. Love that sound. Rightio then. Pop the pliers back. Okay, let's see. Ah! Joking. Alright, let's see how we go now bending that around the mandrel. That's much better. See how I start from the centre? I'll work my way around. Same as the expression cuff. Alright, now another tool we've got here which I might have a play with in doing this is actually a ring bender. The thing with this though is it does tend to mark. See that there? It doesn't mark the edges. But I do want to sand down the edges, so that might not be a problem. Now with these rings, I do want to leave a gap at the bottom. They're not going to be joined. So it can be adjustable once it's finished. I'm currently sitting in the Uberkate workshop in the middle of Sydney. Beautiful autumn day here. I should be out surfing, but no. One must look after the mother of the family. Okay, let's get in there. Let's have a play with this one. That one looks good. It's bending nicely. Oh, that one, it's almost ready to go. Really happy with that. That's looking good. Now this mandrel's obviously a little too large in diameter now. So let's move across to this one. This one might be a lot quicker to make. Spinning around. I'm sort of sliding with my thumb like this as I go. We want these ends here to hook around. You don't want them hanging out there. Oh, there we go. I've got this section wedged against my chest here, so that's why I'm grunting a little bit. Okay, so that's interesting. I've got a kind of a flattened look, sort of flattened at the top there. Might need to roll around a bit more. If I put that on, it's kind of cool. It's a little bit off center. You see there, it's a little bit off center. That one's higher than that one, so that might need to be fixed up. We can always sort that out later, but for now I might just try and flatten it out a bit. So we can sort of bring that over so they're a lot closer now. But because I've bent it down, it's now pointy, like it's got this kind of point there. So it goes back on the mandrel. You can see there's a gap between sort of there and the mandrel. I'll flatten that down and that should be tastier. Bring it down a little bit. Alright, that's not bad. Let's play with this one now. See if I can get that around the mandrel. Maybe down here. Okay, that's starting to go. Oh. Just kind of working sort of down and away in this motion here. You see that? Put it here. So I'm moving it down. I don't want to smash it down, flatten it. I just want to move the ends off and away to try and keep the circular feel. But now I've got this kind of more circular ring. It's got these little bends, little straight sections here rather, where the ring bender has gone in. So I'll have to try and flatten those out. See, you don't necessarily need to be soft and delicate at this stage. I really want to get that shape and smooth out those edges. Okay. Alright, so now it's a little big, but oops. It's a little big, but there you can see it's nice and circular. Won't worry about that. Now there are these little sections here which I wouldn't mind filing off. A little bit of work needs to be done here. Something must have been attached to this because it looks like it was soldered together. We can remove those pretty easily. There we go. That one's looking a lot better. See, I've just removed that section there. I'll do it there. That section's removed. Just got to get that piece now. Remove that. I mean, the question now is, do I leave it sort of flat like this, or roll the edges away down the side? Not too sure what to do there. It's rather large. I think it's a little too large actually. I'm going to have to remove some metal. Unless she wants a small gap, which could work. Alrighty. So here are the two rings. We've got this one here which goes in at the bottom. You can see on, well, I'll put it on the pinky, it's nice and flat at the top, but on the underside it rolls in at the bottom like that. Or do we go chunky flat, maybe a little, I might take a little off the sides on the grinder, but it's flat underneath. I'll pop them both on. Darling, don't they look fantastic? What do you think? Tell me in the poll, please. Help me out!